above MetLife Stadium of that area leading in to the elevated track to get onto the train back to Secaucus Junction. And you could not see the ground. All you saw were people.
It's terrible to treat people.
Now, you can add trains all you want. They're still all going to the same destination. Now, if you go to any other venue that's got mass transit, not everybody is going to one area. You go to a game at Madison Square Garden, some are going to go to Metro North, some are going to take the bus, some are going to go down to the subway. They're going to split off.
You just told me
everybody was heading to that one area at MetLife, waiting for the trains to come. And from what I understand, the record number of people before this to use that train was for a U2 concert, 22,000 people. Last night, 28,000, so 6,000 more people. Think about that. It's a lot more. And they're all leaving at about the same time. Nobody wants to leave. Even though the game was a blowout, you want to stay. It's an historic moment. You want to hang.
They got lucky because people did leave before the game ended. Imagine if it was right down to the end.
All right, but 50,000 people didn't leave at halftime.
Right.
You know, so how many people do you think? Let's say 20,000 people left. That's still 62,000 people. Not everybody could drive. Not everybody could take a bus. So I would think that you probably, if you had 28,000, that's a lot of people to get on the trains. Should they have done better? Well, it's not like they can create more tracks or another different area.
They had to plan better. I mean, to say that there were more people than you expected, when all you said to people, you got to take the train. I talked to a guy today who went there. He said, I feel like a jerk complaining about going to the greatest event in American sports. He said, but getting in and out ruined it for me. It was just the worst. And our PD, Justin Craig, left the show that we did yesterday, got on the train, and he said that when you got off the train and walked into Secaucus Junction, the train station, the stench from people sweating and packed into that room, no air moving at all, people just peeling off shirts. I mean, it was almost like the halftime show. It was amazing how bad it was, and we've been trying to get some New Jersey Transit people on, and Ryan right now has been unable to score one of them. Maybe they have nothing to say. I mean, what do you say? All I know is the first game that was ever played there was a jet game. It was an exhibition game, remember? I went there and I took the train home, because that was a big part of this new stadium. They're going to have a train, actually mass transit to leave the Meadowlands, and it was terrible. And that was just an exhibition game, a jet game, and I wanted to see how it was like, and it was awful. People were packed onto that train like sardines, and you couldn't even drive there.
And the other problem is, so now you get to Secaucus Junction.
Right.
Now, maybe some people park there, but the vast majority of people who get to Secaucus Junction now have to get on another train to go home.
Right.
When's that train coming? It's a Sunday schedule. You know, so what if your train's not for another hour? Now you're stuck there. So I'm just wondering, those piles of people, what was it like at Secaucus Junction? Is everybody's waiting for their train to take them home? So I figured they had everybody. You're right. Everybody that we talked to. This is the first mass transit Super Bowl. It's going to be the train. It's going to be convenient. It might be convenient in the regular season. It might be convenient for certain concerts. But a Super Bowl with all those people leaving at the same time when most of the parking was taken away from you.
Yep.
So
20,000 spaces.
So wait to get on a bus or wait for the train was pretty much your only option for the vast majority of people. What did you think was going to happen?
And then I heard horror stories where cab drivers are not, you're not supposed to drop off anybody at the stadium, but cab drivers just wanted to collect the fare. So if you wanted to go to the MetLife Stadium, they would pick you up and they would go. Then they drop you off there, and the policemen would not let, if you were on foot, they would not let you in there. And they turned you around, and you had to get on a bus or find a way to get onto a bus. So it was maniacal. And this is the NFL that does everything right. We mentioned at the start of the show, it's got God on its payroll because it didn't snow yesterday. And today there's a blizzard in New York. So, I mean, that reflects poorly on New Jersey, New York, and the host committee.
Not New York. Don't put New York in it.
To defend the NFL, I mean, you rely on the different entities to tell you that they can handle it. And I'm sure the NFL told them, listen, we're expecting X amount of people. Prepare accordingly. And if New Jersey Transit prepared for the exact number, that's a bad job on them. Should you over-prepare? Should you prepare as if the number is going to be 10,000 more people than you expect?
People into doing that very thing, and then you're surprised when they actually listen to you and do it. So that's probably the one big strike against the entire New York, New Jersey situation. Roger Goodell was thrilled with the way the whole thing went off. The people at the stadium seemed like they had a great time. Don, by the way, for those that don't know, not a big fan of Bruno Mars.
Some kind of center.
I'm not a fan of his music. That's just not the genre of music that I appreciate as much as others. But the performance was unbelievable. I thought he did a terrific job. That was a really good actor.
Like a modern-day James Brown.
No, he is outstanding.
They could have
does everything well.
parties. They rented out on the weekend.
I don't like the songs because you can't like everything, but to begrudge his performance or to say it was bad. I thought he was outstanding.
But you hate his music. Hate it.
No, hate. Why do you use the word hate? I just don't care for it.
Okay, there's such a big jump from don't care from it to hate.
You said hate.
Every time we used to play Bruno Mars, you
because I
clap your
hate
hands
the
out.
fact that I don't like it and they still play it. I hate them.
Well, now they won't do it anymore.
Well,
Now, how did you think the Red Hot Chili Peppers did?
well, it's all
Do you
right.
think they would have come out without their shirts on if it was 0 degrees?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
That's just the way that they are. But it's always about that song with them. I mean, they've got a great catalog of music, and it's always that song. Give it away now. But it's fine. They're still great. I love the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Do you?
But I wanted the second half to kick off already. I mean, that was a long halftime. That's a joke. Talk about the integrity of the game, and we're so worried about what the weather's going to be like. How is it going to hurt the performance? And then, how long was the halftime? That was no half hour. That felt longer
Well,
than that.
it's always longer than a regular halftime.
Yeah, but halftime is 12 minutes.
No, it was about 25 minutes.
No.